Well, it's a 13-game slate tonight in the NHL, including the Red Wings visiting the Panthers and the Devils in Toronto to face the Maple Leafs. So we've got a full crew to talk trades here on the latest on the fourth period. It's presented by CCM Hockey. I'm your host, Kate Pedersen, here in Sunrise, and with me is Dave Pagnotta. He's in Toronto, and Dennis Bernstein holding down the fort on the West Coast. And guys, since we are here in Florida, why don't we start with the Florida Panthers, the defending Cup champs. They're getting ready for the first of 3 meetings here against the Red Wings. And as we look towards the trade deadline, the talk seems to be that they're looking to add some depth, whether that's a bottom pairing defenseman or a bottom 6 forward. Is that what you guys are hearing?
Yeah, it certainly seems like that's what Bill Zito would like to do with his group. Looking around, seeing what kind of bargain type deals that can work and fit for his group. He's done it in the past. He's looking for special deals, cap-friendly deals that fit for his group. We'll see what he ends up pulling off over these next several weeks. But it certainly looks like, and the team's going to accrue more, just like everyone else, you're going to accrue more cap space as the season progresses. But they're going to look to be very strategic in how they spend their dollars as they look to add some depth, perhaps on the back end, maybe in that bottom 6. But it sounds like the decor is something that they may look to prioritize.
Well, and we're also talking about Detroit here, and they have been red hot under Todd McLellan, winning 7 of their last 9 games. They're chasing that wild card spot, and it sounds like they're also going to be looking to add depth. What can you tell us there?
Well, they're kind of fishing to see where the right fit is. If they maintain this pace, and DB, you know Todd McLellan better than anybody here with his experience in Los Angeles. If they can maintain this pace of play, then Steve Yzerman is certainly willing to reward this group by finding some pieces. Now, they're not going to go out and dish out some of their young talent and prospects just for a short-term fix. They have, all season, they have been looking to bring in complementary pieces that fit the core of this group. But again, depending on how this team performs, that'll dictate how active they're going to be. And with how they're playing with McLellan behind the bench, DB, 7 wins in 9 games, he's got them on track.
Well, I think the outcome of Todd's installation here is it wasn't a roster issue. It was more a coaching issue, right? There's accountability now. He got people's attention. I think you saw after the other night, Todd had no problem calling out Justin Hall. He said he had a bad game. Which he, I'm sure if you asked him, he would play better. So it's what I saw him 4.5 years here in Los Angeles, Dave and Kate. Like, he built this team. He put in structure. They got to the playoffs. And this team, if they're going to play this way, they'll be in the playoffs. Now, the question is, can they do any damage in the playoffs? I'm not sure. But I think that when Stevie Yzerman put Todd in saying, look, I really can't make too many big moves with my roster. The one big lever I can pull is Todd McLellan, and it's worked like a charm for him so far.
Absolutely, and he said he's looking forward to seeing how his team recovers here tonight after a loss the other night. Okay, Dave, you are on the ground in Toronto. Let's talk about the New Jersey Devils. They're down 2-0 in this particular series, but they're sitting pretty in second in the division. What do you think they're looking for? I'm hearing that it might be a bottom 6 center. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, that would be a priority for this team. And Tom Fitzgerald has had conversations, their general manager has been having conversations like everyone else, doing his due diligence, finding out what the price tags are going to be for potential targets as they get closer to the deadline. He's been linked to Jake Evans. This is a player that comes with a very nice team-friendly cap hit at $1.7 million. Now that he's having conversations with the Canadians about an extension, but they want to look kind of in that range. They got a little bit of cap wiggle room. He's also been looking, from what I'm hearing, at potentially creating cap space if the right larger deal falls into place for him and the Devils. But we'll see where they go. There's still a lot of runway left for them and for everybody else in the league. But the bottom 6 at the pivot position, looks to be an area that they would like to address at some point this season.
Well, and DB over in LA, the Kings, they're on the road tonight in Vancouver, but struggling lately with finding offense. Only 5 goals in their last 4 games. They'll get a crack at the Canucks tonight. And I wonder, are they in a similar position as the Devils in terms of what they're looking for?
Well, I think in a perfect world, Kate, they would want right-handed shot presence. I think they're a winger short, to be honest with you. Now, look, Trevor Moore hasn't been great this year. He's been banged up as well. LaFerriere is going to be out tonight as well. He's banged up as well. So a right-handed shot on the power play, which is, I think, 30th at this point, and is abysmal. And not only doesn't score, but they lose momentum in games when they're not productive. They also could look at maybe a 4C here down the road because they've had great success playing 11-7. But, the question is, how long can you play 11-7 before your forwards get tired? You can do it for half a season. Could you really go 82 games going 11-7? Or would you like to have another veteran presence? They have Samuel Hellenius who's going to go back in tonight because of the LaFerriere injury, but he's played virtually 25 NHL games. So I think that in the offseason, you were looking for a little bit more size on the bottom 6 and 4C. So I think that might be an option as well. So right-handed shot presence, and I'll mention a guy, even though they say they're not in the market, a guy like Kyle Palmieri will be a great target for them. A guy who, the Islanders power play hasn't done great, so maybe he changed the scenery there. So I think right-handed shot presence, 4C could be on Rob Blake's wish list once we get to March.
Well, I think I speak for many people to say that we've been impressed with what they've been able to do without Drew Doughty, but we're hearing that he may skate with the team next week, which would then lead us to believe a return could happen over the next few weeks. Can you confirm, deny, or give us any details there?
Well, you can see the images online of Drew Doughty in a red no-contact jersey at the practice facility in El Segundo. So, yeah, the Kings will wrap up their trip in Seattle on Saturday. I would suspect that Drew would be on the ice for practice. Now, they play the Penguins on Monday night, so Drew's obviously not going to play there. But I think that you'll see him at practice, maybe at a morning skate. But the anticipation is end of January. And barring a setback, I think that's what the expectation should be in the moment right now.
All right, great. Well, thanks so much, guys, and thank you to everyone watching. It's the latest on the fourth period, presented by CCM Hockey.